Hello, everybody. Another episode of Who the Hell Asked. I'm your host, Slade, along with Byron.
Hey, what's up? We got gaming
And we're
news.
going to do, the news this week. Sorry for cutting you off there, buddy. I blame Discord delay. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Speaking of delays and things being... we have a Mortal Kombat 12 officially revealed in the funniest way possible at a Warner Brothers Discovery quarter earnings call.
That is correct. They announced it during the earnings call. I don't know if there's any footage or anything like that, only that it was just brought up.
So there is footage of it that I'm playing. It's basically there's a Twitter clip that's been going around with Zaslav, this fucker's last name, Zaslav, the Warner Bros. Discovery president and CEO, announced that the game is happening. It's Mortal Kombat 12, and that it's apparently releasing later this year, which is interesting.
Because that is pretty interesting, considering we don't have any footage of the game itself, which is what I was getting at.
Yeah, and Ed Boon has been throwing teases and hints at what NetherRealm's next game is, but I bet Ed Boon is probably fucking pissed at this, considering how secretive the game industry is compared to the movie industry and TV and all that stuff.
Yeah. To be fair, though, on the other shoe, keeping things hidden like this in today's day and age is pretty much impossible, which we'll talk a little bit more about, not necessarily this episode, but later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, Mortal Kombat 12 coming out this year. I'm kind of wondering if they're rushing it out this year so it can compete with titles like Street Fighter 6 and Tekken
8. Yeah, I was about to say, fighting game fans are fucking eating this year.
Oh yeah, gourd. At this point, there's so much food, I don't think we're gonna be able to finish it all.
And we're gonna talk a little bit about Street Fighter later, because we got some a little bit of new news on that one. But speaking of news that we got, Rovio Games. For those who don't know who Rovio is, they are the makers of Angry Birds, and they are shutting down on Android anyways, which is the interesting part. On Android, Rovio Classics Angry Birds, on the Apple App Store, it will be renamed to Red's First Flight. Rovio Classics Angry Birds will remain playable on devices that have already had the game. And basically, it's because you fuckers aren't playing the microtransaction-laden versions of Angry Birds, like Angry Birds 2, Angry Birds Friends, Angry Birds Journey, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And also, Android has an APK thing where you can just, sideload. And in the hidden tweets, there's a lot of hidden tweets of people linking to pirating Angry Birds Classic.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is being posted in response to this. Long story short, this is incredibly scummy that they're taking the first game off shop. This isn't even the first time it's happened, by the way.
No.
This is the second time that it's happened.
Yeah, which is crazy, all things considering.
And the reason this is happening is because they want people to go buy their games that are riddled with microtransactions.
Yeah.
So that they could, make a quick buck off of people who are easily more psychologically manipulated.
Yeah, because for those who don't know,
doing stuff like that.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, the Rovio Classics Angry Birds was only $1. While these other new Angry Birds games are free to play, but with, the microtransactions that you would expect for a mobile game in 2023. So...
Yeah, so long story short, this is incredibly scummy. I think Arlo actually put it best in response to this. We hope that those fans can continue to bring passion to our other games, which have been designed to be more psychologically manipulative and stuffed with more microtransactions. Fixed it for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, Arlo's pretty on point here. That's
Yep.
exactly my take on the
Yeah, someone
situation.
posted an image of, I fucking love media piracy. I want to fucking download music and movies for free. Some of the hidden tweets are people literally linking to, hey, APK, linking to APKs to sideload on Android, because this only affects Android, by the way, the second takedown. Because on the App Store, as of right now, at least in the US, it's a closed-off ecosystem. But, what a wild story this is. I never expected to talk about Angry Birds on this show. But guess what? It's happened in 2023. What the fuck? What the fuck, right? Oh,
gotta love when companies get greedy. Okay, so last week we also got the announcement of Pokemon Presents for this upcoming Monday.
That's right. So we got Pokemon Presents coming up. It's going to be at 9 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. Slade's time.
That is correct, and I would honestly set your expectations low for this one, people, because I don't imagine they're going to announce anything outside of the RBY ports that I ranted quite a bit about and the direct reactions. I guess some language has changed in the Pokemon Stadium game on NSO about the GBA game's compatibility, so there's no reason for them to change that unless they're bringing RBY to the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, like, I'm still of the opinion that's not happening, because there's going to be some fuckery with those older games coming to Switch. I don't know.
Potentially.
That's just my gut feeling. I think for NSO announcements, we're going to get the Pokemon pinball games, and you all will fucking like it.
I just think there's the potential that they announce.
There's potential.
I mean, they could very well not.
Yeah.
And that just, this is only Scarlet and Violet DLC, and that's it.
Yeah, because like that's
insane.
Yeah, that's obviously the main thing everybody is like expecting, because like it seems like this is the route Pokemon's going. Main game, DLC, boom.
And like whatever spin-off that they're trying to push at the time.
Yes.
Which I imagine we'll get one spin-off, but Lord knows anybody knows what it is.
It's gonna be for mobile again.
Imagine.
As all of these fucking...
We're gonna get another Pokemon Cafe that nobody's gonna play. God. It's gonna be great.
Pokemon fucking Cafe. That's what Genius Sorority is stuck with.
Yeah, I hate the fact that their talent's being wasted on shit like that. Legit salty.
And speaking of disappointing things, our final thing this week, we had the PlayStation State of Play with, honest to God, not much really for us to cover, but we do have a few things. We have some Street Fighter news. Zangief is back in it, looking as muscly as ever.
Yep, that's right. Along with Cammy, who is also returning, to nobody's surprise. We all figured we'd see her.
Yep.
And then a brand new character in Lily.
Yeah. Interesting character here.
Yeah.
Like a Native American, I think. At least that's the vibe I'm getting from the outfit, but really cool addition to Street Fighter.
I didn't look too deep into it. I was just like, it is what it is.
But yeah. Cool that that's probably the best reveal. Honestly, this whole State of Play was a new Street Fighter character. The game does continue to look pretty good for fighting game fans. And the other announcement that we got was Resident Evil 4 Remake's release date. Alongside...
That is correct.
Yeah, alongside The Mercenaries.
So it looks like the Resident Evil 4 remake is coming with some additional game mode off the side. I don't know if it's multiplayer. It looked like there's a moment where you could see like, oh, maybe they're playing split screen, but either way, having additional content added to Resident Evil 4 kind of gives me a little bit of pause, because I'm like, okay, I'm hoping that the base game gets the attention it needs, whatever. It's not buggy or unplayable in release or anything.
And
but it looks good.
Yeah, it's coming soon, by the way. March 24th is when it's coming. Yeah. So about a month.
Yeah, that's insane that they are dropping the release date and it's a month from now.
Yeah,
Absolutely crazy.
It's absolutely bananas. And
They wouldn't do that unless they were confident the product's ready to go. That or they don't care whether the product's ready to go or not, and they just want your money.
But I know the Resi 2 remake I heard was really good. Resi 3 it wasn't as good.
But still really good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there is history of confidence to be had with these Resident Evil remakes. We had, of course, the announcement of that we were getting like 15 plus minutes of Suicide Squad, which, by the way, on that game, Jesus Christ! Because let me pull something up here from a meme Twitter account called Ultima, and it's like, does the audience for superhero games and the audience of people who love sorting through countless numbers on screen in tacked-on gear systems really overlap that much? Because yes, there's a gear system. There's, of course, a motherfucking battle pass, because why the fuck wouldn't there be?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what it is with DC and Marvel games getting way more showtime than we fucking need them to.
Yeah, look, Guardians of the
honestly.
Galaxy, Marvel
Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe not Marvel Avengers as much, but still, like, gross.
It's like, just announce the game and throw it out there. It's shovelware anyway.
Yeah.
I guess Guardians of the Galaxy is like legitimately good, but like
Guardians
generally most of these games are shovelware.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy just got overexposed.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what Rocksteady spent 7 years on since the incredible Batman Arkham trilogy.
I guess we just hope that this one's really good and not shovelware they're being forced to put out.
And again,
either way, yeah.
And again, these companies trend chasing, and it's like game development's getting longer and longer. Maybe you shouldn't trend chase, considering no games as a service game that's come out since the pandemic happened has succeeded. Except maybe Fall Guys. But even that game, I've heard, has been falling off a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, all things come to an end, and I think Fall Guys is always going to be one of those types of games where everybody loves for like the first year, and then just interest was always going to taper off significantly.
Yeah, but it's just weird that like all these companies like during the pandemic got the gold rush to try to make these like games as a service games, and literally none of them have been successful.
Well, yeah.
It was Fortnite came out before then, Apex came out before then, Destiny
went free to play as well, yeah. Well, I mean, I think at Destiny's case, there's kind of a forced situation because nobody bought Destiny 2 on release, at least compared to the numbers of Destiny 1.
Yeah, but still, even
that game released with like absolutely no content.
Yeah, but still, even Destiny 2's popularity shot up before the pandemic happened.
Yeah, I think there's a stat about Destiny 2 where everybody who plays Destiny 2 are the game's whales at this point, and fucking most of the like player base has dropped off.
Yeah,
which kind of sad, but also kind of expected.
Yeah, but once again, these we were actually on a good hot streak for like the past 2 state of plays prior to this one, and well, this recent state of play ended that streak of good
this
state
one
of
wasn't
plays.
very good.
Yeah,
it's pretty unfortunate because again, I hate to point the finger at just one particular game that got too much coverage, but really what it was, I thought the Resi 4 stuff looked really nice, and I thought the Capcom content for Street Fighter 6 was pretty good. So honestly, I think Capcom just showed up ready to play.
Yeah, this was the Capcom state of play with other third parties that Sony had, PSVR 2 stuff, which most of those PSVR 2 games looked like hallway shooters.
Yeah, for the most part.
And yeah, like, will Sony show the big guns soon? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've kind of went over it with a friend of it. I kind of feel like Sony is kind of already front-loaded the games for the PS5.
Yeah.
In a really big way in terms of, like, the most anticipated one, like the sequel to God of War 2018.
Yeah, God of War 2018, new Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, that's right.
We got Spider-Man 2 coming soon. We got Horizon DLC coming soon, but that's about it. That's all we know that's coming this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I feel like all the big hitting titles for Sony have already come out at this point, and now we're just playing the waiting game. Because again, some of their other titles, like what Naughty Dog works on, whether they're making a new IP or Last of Us Part 3.
Oh yeah, Last of Us Factions. I forgot about that. That
because
should
the thing
be
about
this
The
year.
Last of Us is now that's got a very popular Netflix series.
HBO, not Netflix. HBO series.
HBO. I'm sorry. A popular TV show series.
Yes.
Just gonna say that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the game.
It's crazy popular.
Yeah.
That's bringing a lot more attention to like the IP and overall, and ignoring my feelings on The Last of Us Part 2, because again, my beef with this is that it's a bad game. I don't have any problem with like trans characters or gay characters like that. In fact, I think it's particularly really cool that we're getting that kind of like representation in video games.
Yeah.
But again, I just think The Last of Us, in terms of gameplay, is just kind of mid.
Yeah, but it's gonna be really.
But I would like to see them take another crack at it with The Last of Us Part 3.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time if you're a PlayStation fan, considering all the Activision stuff that we have and haven't covered because of all that craziness, the disappointing state of play, the ever looming hope for a major PlayStation first party showcase. Like, it's interesting times, and if you're a Pokemon fan, well, tomorrow Monday's gonna be interesting. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. Monday's gonna be interesting. Not sure if it'll be worth for me personally waking up at 9 in the morning, but we'll see.
But I think that's going to be everything for this episode. This has been Slade.
And this has been Byron. We will see you all next week with the Pokemon Presents Aftermath and whatever the hell else happens in the gaming industry, because it's already a crazy ride. We're 2 months in. See you all later. Bye-bye.